The IBF have come out and announced that their world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua will have to face his mandatory challenger Joseph Parker by January 9th, 2017 at the latest. The negotiation period for this fight will be called on November 9th, 2016. That's this year. And the two camps will have 30 days from November 9th to negotiate a deal. If a deal cannot be reached, then it will go to purse bids. Joseph Parker's team have come out in recent days and said that they're willing to fight Anthony Joshua even as a voluntary. Perhaps it's because they don't think the negotiation period is long enough. Because from November 9th, you count a month from then, that'll take you to December 9th or December 8th. And then January 9th is only a month after that. So do you really want to be agreeing a deal after the 1 month negotiation period and then fighting in mid-December or very early January? It's not really ideal from a business point of view. So perhaps that's why Parker's people are saying, you know what, let's open negotiations now. Let's not even wait until the IBF trigger the negotiation period on November 9th. Let's start negotiating now and let's get a deal done before the mandatory situation kicks in. And perhaps Eddie Hearn and Joshua will agree to that and basically agree to give Joseph Parker and his team the exact same terms they would get being a mandatory challenger, i.e. a set percentage split, no obligation to sign for a rematch, etc. Maybe they'll give them that deal anyway because it will just save both parties the hassle of having to negotiate a fight in the wintertime leading up to Christmas and New Year's. I'm sure they don't really want to be in deep negotiations around then with the pressure of having to get the fight on by January 9th. It's not really ideal from a commercial point of view. January 9th, people have just had New Year's and whatnot. So, as I say, from a business perspective, for both parties, I'm sure will want to get this fight out of the way by December 9th at the latest, I think. So possibly even earlier than that. So we'll see what happens with the business side of things. Maybe they can get it done as a voluntary defense with the same type of contract and the same type of deal as if it would be a mandatory. So yeah, this is definitely a fight I've been looking forward to. Parker and his team seem confident. Joshua seems confident. And I've seen one or two people say this fight should be built a bit more and that they shouldn't fight until, maybe a year or so from now. I completely disagree. They're both at a similar stage of their career. Why not fight now? When two young guys fight, you normally get a better spectacle than when it's two more older, experienced fighters who are more cagey and wily. When you get two young guys, unbeaten guys like Joshua and Parker, who are aggressive, who, they're full of testosterone. They feel invincible. When you get two guys like that and put them together in the ring, that's normally when you get drama. That's why I was looking forward to Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte so much, even though people told me I was silly and crazy for looking forward to that fight. Well, you saw what happened. I was right about that. Because I know my boxing and I understand the psychology of people. And I understand that younger fighters particularly are likely to produce better fights. When you get two young, hungry guys, look at Sean Porter against Keith Thurman. Look how wild that fight was and intense it was because it was two young guys. You don't want to wait until the guys are both seasoned and older and more wily. There's less likely that the fight is going to be dramatic if you do. So, both of them are, like I say, a similar level of experience. So it's not like you're putting one of them in over their heads in terms of lacking experience. No, they both lack experience. So, yeah, why not make the fight right now? Parker is the mandatory. As long as Joshua wins his next fight and Parker wins his next fight and there's no injuries or anything like that or no drug scandals, then it's likely we're going to see this fight this year. And I'm all for it. I can't wait for it. So, yeah. And, both fighters are still young. So whoever loses the fight, I'm sure can come back. It's not going to be the end of the world. Joseph Parker, I believe, is only 24 years old. Was he 24, 25? He's very young for a heavyweight. So if he was to lose, he's got plenty of time to rebuild and come back. It wouldn't be the end of the world at all. Same goes for Joshua. So yeah, I like the fight, and let me know what you think about the fight and the whole business situation. Because at first, when I heard that Parker wanted this fight as a voluntary, he wanted Joshua to take him on as a voluntary, I couldn't understand it. But now that the IBF have come out and said the deadline for the fight happening is January 9th, now I understand it, because Parker's team don't want to be negotiating deep into December, or deep into November, December, and then trying to rush the fight sometime between December 9th and January 9th. I mean, this don't make any business sense. Better to get the fight done before then. And to get it done before then might mean getting it done or starting the negotiations now, before the mandatory has actually been called, because it's going to get called. The negotiation period is going to get called on November 9th. So let's start the negotiations way before then. I think that's the logic here. So anyway, people, it's your boy Hatman, I'm out.